Hey, it's Goldtop 2 day. I have parts. Ouch. Sometimes these strings snap back and bite you. Alright. So what I'm going to be doing today is taking this off because they're not needed anymore. And I'm going to go do electrics at the other bench. Not the Dario strings. Only the high-end guitars get the Dario strings. Okay, so that's the bridge that we don't want to keep. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. It's a bit tight coming off of there. It's interesting. I'll have to check and see if there's any stuff there that I don't want. I've got new. Let me check how well they're anchored in. Oh, oop! I can pull that one up by hand. And there's no shim in it. What about these? That one comes out too. There is a shim in that one. That one's hard. Oh, this one comes up a little bit. Alright, I'll have to address these posts a little bit later. Alright, I'm going to take these knobs off here as well. Oh, my knob extractors at the other bench. Oh, they're on really hard. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll work on that at bench 2. After I do the electrics and put in the pickup change, take out this switch, I'll come back to this bench and we'll end up cleaning up the dirt on the fretboard, of course, and straightening it out and leveling it. I perceive there is a problem with high ends on these frets down here, but we'll see once I get it leveled out. Now, one other thing I'm going to do before I go over to the other benches, get rid of these tuners. They are all going to go in the junker. Okay. We cover the screws. Man, I tell you, the gearing on these things and the meshing is just awful. Alright, they go. The screws stay. And just to be sure, we're going to stick them all on the magnet and keep them in the bin till we get back over here. Oh, there's one. Alright, that's that. So the first thing I'm going to be tackling on this side is the switch. Get the switch off and replace it. And then I'll be able to not have to worry about the length, because I have to pull a little bit on the wires here to get the switch out and be able to do some mods on it. I'm going to turn up my temperature a little bit because these larger terminals with the older solder on it are a little bit harder to melt. The switch is out. The replacement switch is an Epiphone branded series. It's a lot more robust than this one. Look at the flop on that. Yeah, this one is a little bit beefier. Okay, so we had the red. Really? Come on. You, and you. Come on. It's really tight in that hole that they did through the body. Okay. There we go. Put our plaque back on. Well, seems like it's a little bit shorter than the other one for some reason. Maybe just my imagination. Okay, so there's the up. I want to make sure it's up on the up. Get straightened up. Get that straightened out. So far so good. That should be tight enough. And I can just twist it maybe a little bit to get it to go a little bit straighter. Good, all lined up. Alrighty, now it's the back at the other end. So these are all loose and there's a rat's nest in here. Alright. So I've got to take all the stuff off of these volumes because there's going to be push-pulls for the new pickups. And I'm going to need Robbie to help me again. Take a grab on that. Okay, that's the bridge ground. I'm going to disassemble some of this stuff and I'll get back to you when it's not so monotonous. And I can report the wiring is now done. Doesn't look much different than it did, except for the push-pulls that are in there. And the new switch that's in the back. Everything worked out really good except for one thing. I wired the split backwards on the neck as a dumbass, and I had to fix it, which was swapping a couple of pins. And that happens when you don't make a drawing and mark off what you're doing. That's why I usually do it. And I proved that you can be a dumbass if you don't have a drawing and follow it, mark it up. Oh, and the other thing, I don't know if you noticed, but here on Gold 2, they also have these little cushions here, spacers, as they do on the switch pocket, that they had on Gold 1, but not on Gold 1 here, but on Gold 2, they have them here because it was routed as deep as that one, I guess. Oh, come on, stop it. So we're going to end up moving back to bench 1. I'm going to install some tuners. The covers here. Yeah, I've got the cover here for this. I can put that back on for both of these back plates. It's got to align the holes properly. Yeah, there we go. Screws are here, so I'll do that. and we'll end up at bench 1. Okay guys, we're at the leveling. So I've let this sit for about an hour, thinking that it needs that once you make a truss rod adjustment, just to make sure it's level. Two things I've noticed. The fret markers are not always exactly flush with the surface of the wood, and sometimes that gives you a false impression of not straight out. And so I decided, well, I'm going to just check along the edge and see what it's like, and that's okay. And then I move this across to the other side, and I'm going, oh, between the first and second fret, I've got like 1 millimeter of clearance underneath that ruler. How about 1/2 millimeter on the third? So even the fretboard itself is not exactly flat and radiused 100%. So that's why it's important to check to make sure you got it as close as possible to flat before you start. And you want to do the best job possible. Oh, the tuners are on. I'll show you those later. But I found I had to change the ferrules with the new tuners. And the new tuners are Cache, and I believe they're made by the same manufacturer and just provided to Music Lily and Cache. They work pretty much exactly the same way. Needed the upsized ferrules. And when I took these out, I found all these little wood chips, shims, in the holes for neck ferrules. Huh. I also replaced the anchors here, and they're nice and solid now, so they're good to go. So I got to tape up the whole fretboard, do the nasty with it, and get dirty hands and all kinds of stuff going on. And it takes about 1.5 hours if I can get straight through it without too many issues. I'm not going to chase the one here and the one there and the one there and the one there. I'm just not going to chase it. I'm just going to do the whole thing because it's way easier to do it that way. And so just in case you didn't trust me or believe me that I had to do fret leveling on this thing, here we are. I just finished all the papering, all the different grades right up to 3000. Now we got to go do the prickly stuff, which is the steel wool. And I want to get all this tape off of here and get this thing cleaned up. Makes a lot of dust. And try to get some oil on the fretboard for overnight. And then see what it looks like tomorrow. Okay. We have Cache locking tuners. They work just like the Music Lilies on Gold number 1, except they have the Cache logo on the back of them. We have the new bone nut, beautifully done, just like Gold 1. We have the fretboard, Indian Laurel, oiled. I love Indian Laurel. This is not the best cut of Indian Laurel I've seen, but I love Indian Laurel. It's a nice tight grain. And we have 9s, and the big surprise is the pickups. These are Epiphone Pearlbucker 2s. So, see what she'll do. I tuned it up. Let's plug it in. Works better. Works better that way. And the amp is 65 Deluxe standard settings as usual. This is vintage Pearlbuckers. Low outputs, 8K, 7K roughly. Everything is up, 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 down, down, down. My standard D, we'll start there. J, articulation. nails are too long. I have to cut them back. Yes, indeed. I got the action I want. 3 and 4 64th. You can barely see underneath there. And there's no buzzing. The full level fret job was good. Polished them all up. Trying to fix that little divot there, but I've got a couple of little gold things that I've put in there. I just don't have anything that I can match. I've even tried mixing a couple of colors, but at least it doesn't show the white undercoat anymore. The 22 cap. Oh, I forgot to show you the split. Here's the bridge full. I put a 680K resistor in that one. It was too thin. I tested these on my test jig guitar before I put them in here. Volume has bleed circuits. Tone is at 22. I like that slow input. Bridge full. Neck. I'm out of tune already. Strings are still stretching. Didn't put a resistor on that one. So that's the way she goes. The center is kind of a sweet spot depending on where you put the pickups, and yeah, independent volumes as per usual in the center. So you can add like half and half if that's what you want, either split or not split. You can find a sweet spot doing that. So it turned out pretty good. This will be the end of the Gold 2. Turned out great. Saved another one. Wasn't in as bad a shape as the first one, but it is now the same as the first one. Except this divot is bigger. So, that's it. That's all she wrote. Thanks for hanging in. Catch you in the next one. Appreciate all your support.